I think I'm going to change this video up a little bit. Hey there, everybody. My name is Morgan, and I'm trying my best. And this is the second time I'm filming this video. I didn't corrupt my file. I wrote down the outline of a video and got 40 minutes into filming, literally, and realized there was a reason I was having trouble with it, because I know what I'm doing wrong. The original theme of this video was reasons budgeting is hard, and I was coming at it from an angle of hearing advice on financial literacy and saving money and getting out of debt, and all of it included making a budget and just sticking to your budget. That's something I found pretty difficult historically, and especially now. There's so much uncertainty and there's so much stress and there's so much just nonsense going on and so many feelings that I tried to deal with through various means, including money, and it's just hard. I've had a lot of problems with budgeting in the past, and I'm going to do a quick rundown so that you all know kind of where I'm coming from. They included going into debt and having a credit card balance that was too large to pay off in one fell swoop, not making enough money to cover my expenses, and I'm not only talking about rent and utilities and stuff like that, but what I was just spending on a day-to-day basis. I'm talking about planning on making money and then either not making as much money as I had hoped, or just making that amount of money but using that as an excuse to spend more money. Stuff like that. And I think a lot of this stems from seeing future Morgan as I aspire to be, which is someone with a steady job, which is someone who has control over her finances, which is someone who has like a grocery list and discipline and has all of the clothes that she could ever want, so she's not buying any more clothes, and like goes to the library and checks out books, which is something that I never thought that I would just not have access to, but here we are. Turns out future Morgan's kind of a sucker, because she has been loaning present Morgan money for years and it's never really been paid back. The closest it's been is when I entered grad school and was able to pay for my semesters of grad school up until the last one out of pocket. And I love that feeling, and I don't have it right now. And I didn't have it before, and I'm hoping to get it back. Okay, we're getting emotional in this one. Cool. So present Morgan just mooches off of future Morgan to the extent that as I move into the future, I don't have the money that I visualize myself having, and I don't have the control that I want to have over my finances and my life. There have been a couple of ways that I've done this. When I graduated from college, I started working at a job that paid $24,000 a year, and I had an apartment that was $750 a month for rent on top of expenses. The problem was when I got a paycheck, I couldn't do everything I wanted with that paycheck. I had to do little pieces at a time. Kept trying and trying and trying to save so that I could kind of have a cushion and get ahead and use this month's paycheck on next month's bills, etc. But I never really made it there. A lot of the time, I think it just got so hopeless for me that I would just give up, especially in the face of all of the traveling that I was doing at the time. My friends and I loved traveling, and I would rely on the paycheck that I got from traveling for work to pay for the travel to get there. Just a lot. It was a lot. And as a result, future Morgan never really got to enjoy the money that she had earned. It just didn't work out like that. Another thing that has ended up damaging my future wealth, well, is the use of credit cards. And when I was traveling and working full time, it actually kind of made sense to use a credit card because I was able to get points on my credit card, which I could then use towards my travels, so that when I was traveling for work, I could enjoy more of that money, and it was like I made that money. And in March, I still thought I was going to be traveling this year. I was totally planning on doing some vacationing in September, and like, I don't think it's gonna happen, fam. I've been using my credit card in anticipation of using those miles on a trip that might not happen, and I don't know when it will happen. There's really not a point in continuing to use my credit card, and this is me deciding not to use my credit card. I think that discontinuing using my credit card will have some pretty good effects for me. For example, when I use a credit card, I feel a lot more welcome to spend higher amounts of money at one time, whereas before, when I was a kid and just using cash, I would buy things on sale, and I would only buy things if they were on sale, and I would never consider buying a $100 pair of jeans. The idea of placing a $100 order for makeup just didn't occur to me at all. Now, with a credit card, I can, you know, buy a subscription in advance and pay $100, or, you know, buy a $100 weight set and not feel like I have to save up for it first, because I can save up for it in backwards. I can save up for it backwards, where I just pay it off. To be fair to me, when I had my full-time job, I was making money in a quantity that allowed me to do that. Now, it's not that easy. Goddamn, is that habit hard to break? And I think the easiest way to break that habit is to make it a lot harder for me to imagine spending that much money at a time, and that means not using my credit cards anymore. One of the other unfair things that I've been doing to future Morgan is assuming that she doesn't have anything that she wants. I imagine myself, every time I buy something, being like, this is it. This will get me to the point where I just don't want anything else. And that's so far not been the case. Future Morgan could not take that money and apply it to the things that she wants. I also assume that future Morgan wouldn't have expenses. My dog is healthy. I don't know how long that's gonna last, because there are a lot of things that could go wrong with a dog's health. I don't want to think about it because I love my dog and I don't want her to do that. When I build my budget, I tend to severely underestimate the amount of money that I'm going to spend in the future, because I just think that I don't need anything else, and think that me not needing anything else is going to prevent future Morgan from buying things, when that is very much not the case. Future Morgan has ideas about cool things to do, just like present Morgan does, and future Morgan has places that she wants to go that present Morgan couldn't even imagine getting the opportunity to go to. I think that's one of my big problems, is not treating my future self as an extension of my present self, but as an idealized version that's experienced some sort of shift in their life, where they're post-consumerism, and they are post-materialism, and they are post-buying new clothes, and post-buying new makeup, and just zen. I love myself. I think I like my personality quite a lot. I don't think I'm ever going to be a very zen person. My problem with budgeting for a long time has been that I budget for a future that is unrealistic, and my view of the present is also pretty unrealistic. I tend to make exceptions for things that I think are extraordinary. The problem being that I have a very low bar for extraordinary. I've spent more money than I have any right to, given my current income and even given my past income and my goals with that income. I have some apologies to make to my future self, and I'm going to start by giving her an opportunity to do the things she wants instead of just focusing on what I want in the moment. I'm going to do that by saving money, hopefully, paying off my debt, and making it so that I have the flexibility to spend money if the occasion arises, and I have the ability to say no to things if they arise too. I really have to apologize to future Morgan because I've been doing her dirty for a long time and she doesn't deserve it. She's just trying her best like the rest of us. My name is Morgan and I'm trying my best. Thanks for watching. This will be an interesting video to edit, that's for damn sure.